Good day, everybody. Sorry. I hope that you are well, and I also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today, we'll be doing our grade 6 English lesson on idioms and adages. And before we start, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once we've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of English language arts. We're doing grade 6. And then we're going to scroll down up until we get to our chapter of idioms and adages. All right. So our chap this is a continuation of our previous lesson on idioms and adages. So now we're just going to continue right on idioms and adages. And we said that we are doing the chapter of idioms and adages. Our subject is English language arts. We're doing grade 6. And the lessons that we are going to be focusing on under the chapter of idioms and adages is to determine the meaning of idioms from context. This is now set 2. That is why I'm saying this is a continuation of our previous lesson. And we're going to identify the meanings of idioms and adages. All right, so when it comes to idioms and adages, right, which is our chapter, an idiom is a phrase that means something different than what the words in the phrase mean on its own, which means that you'll have a phrase, right? But you cannot give us the direct meaning of what the word means because that is not an idiom. An idiom is where you have a phrase and it means something totally different than what the direct meaning of that words mean. Right? So once again, we said an idiom. It is a phrase that means something different than what the words in the phrase mean on its own. It's like totally different, right? For example, under the weather, that's an idiom. So under the weather is an idiom, right? And if we, for example, say that I'm feeling a bit under the weather, um, and then we can basically say it's nothing to do with the weather. Feeling under the weather has got nothing to do with the weather, right? When you are feeling under the weather, or you can say you are under the weather, depending on how you use the context, and then basically under the weather, it means that you are not feeling well. Like I can say I'm a bit under the weather, like I feel a bit feverish, right? I'm not feeling well. It's got nothing to do with the weather, it's got nothing to do with the sun shining outside, or it's raining, or anything like that. When you're under the weather, it just means that you are not feeling well. That means under the weather. All right. So once again, like we say, feeling under the weather, it just means that you're not feeling well. And an example of that, like a sentence, we can say Sally stayed home because she is feeling under the weather. So if next time if someone says, "Oh, I'm feeling under the weather," or you are not feeling well, then you can say like, "Oh, I'm not going to school because I'm feeling under the weather," or "I'm not going out because I'm feeling under the weather." And feeling under the weather, it means that someone isn't feeling well. All right. And once again, we said that when it comes to idioms, right? Once again, it is a phrase that means something different than what the words in the phrase mean on its own. And during the course of this lesson, we are going to find out different phrases, what it means, how we can basically look at it not directly, but how the words or the phrases within that sentence mean something totally different than what the actual meaning of that words are. All right. And once again, when it comes to the meanings of idioms, right? The meanings of idioms, it cannot be found by just looking at the meaning of the word. Like I made an example of feeling under the weather. You cannot just look at the at what weather means, or feeling under the weather or under the weather. You can't just look at that word and be like, oh, it's something to do with the weather. It does. Idioms are not like that, right? So the meanings of idioms, you cannot just look at the word and be like, okay, it is weather, and think that the meaning of each of the word is direct, right? We can't just look at the direct meaning of the word. You're gonna have to remember either the meaning of the idiom, or you're going to have to try and figure out the meanings of the idioms by looking at how they are used. For example, Sally stayed home because she's feeling under the weather. So now, okay, maybe it means that she's not feeling well because she stayed at home, right? So you're going to have to look at the sentence. You're going to have to look at the context of that, of how the sentence is written, and then maybe try and figure out the meaning of that word. Or you're just going to have to remember that under the weather means that you're not feeling well. All right. So now we're going to look at a few examples, right? We're going to look at meanings as well as or let's say we're going to look at idioms as well as the meanings of these idioms, right? All right. If we look at the first one, so we're going to look at the meanings of these idioms, right? So if we look at the first one says bite the bullet. So if someone says bite the bullet, then the meaning of bite the bullet is to do something unpleasant but unnecessary. It's nothing to do with biting something, it's nothing to do with a bullet. It is to do with something unpleasant but necessary. So basically, the idiom bite the bullet, it means to do something unpleasant but necessary. That is to bite the bullet. If you look at the next one says sharp as a tack. Sharp as a tack. And the meaning of sharp as a tack, right? If you look at the word sharp as a tack, it's got nothing to do with how sharp a blade is, nothing as a attacking. Sharp as a tack, it means that you are witty and intelligent. Somebody's witty and intelligent. They are very clever. That's sharp as a tack. And the last one says, get under someone's skin. The idiom to get under someone's skin. And to get under someone's skin, it means that you are bothering someone. To get under someone's skin, it is to bother someone. It's like somebody's irritating you. That is what it means. They're irritating you, they're bothering you. That is how it means when you get under someone's skin. Of course, you cannot, or something cannot get under your skin, right? Unless it's maybe like a splinter or something. So the idiom get under someone's skin, it means to bother someone, or you can sometimes say it's like when somebody's irritating you or interrupting you, right? That is to get under someone's skin. They're like picky. They are like, you know, just constant irritation. All right. So once again, these are a few examples of meanings of idioms. And we said an idiom, it is a phrase that means something different than what the words in the phrase mean on their own. You cannot just look at at the phrase, right? And then look at the meaning directly. It doesn't work like that. So the meaning of idioms cannot just be found by just looking at each of the words and directly translating it. When it comes to meanings of idioms, you're either going to have to remember the meanings of the idioms, or you are going to have to try and figure out the meaning by looking at how they are used in the context or in a sentence, right? All right. So now we're going to a plus students.ca, and we're going to determine the meaning of idioms from context, and we're also going to identify the meaning of idioms and adages. All right. So we're going to a plus students.ca. So we're going to determine the meaning of idioms from context. We're going to look at a few activities, and then we are going to our test. All right. And once again, we see that an idiom is a phrase that means something different than what the words in the phrase mean on its own, right? If we look at the meaning of the idioms, right? It says, what is the meaning of hit the roof? Hit the roof. And the meaning of hit the roof, it says, when Trisha heard that we had forgotten to feed her pet parakeet, she really hit the roof. So when Trisha heard that we had forgotten to feed her pet parakeet, she really hit the roof. So hit the roof, what does it mean? If someone forgets to feed your pet, how would you feel? And if we were to find the meaning of the word hit the roof, and in the meanings of the word hit the roof is to become very angry. So which means that Trisha became very angry when they forgot to feed her pet. That's to hit the roof. What is the meaning of bottom line? The meaning of bottom line. It says the protesters had many different complaints about the power plant, but the bottom line was that no one wanted it to open. So the protesters had made different complaints about the power plant, but the bottom line was that no one wanted it to open. So, what is the meaning of bottom line? Bottom line. All right. And bottom line, right? The word bottom line, it means the most important fact. Bottom line. All right. And the last one says, what is the meaning of to give someone the third degree? Give someone the third degree. The librarian gave me the third degree because several library books went missing while I was in the room. The third degree. All right. And when somebody gives you the third degree, to give someone the third degree is to treat someone like a suspect by asking many questions, like asking in and out, like, did you, like giving you the look, making you feel as if you were the one that took certain things, right? Or did something. That is to give someone the third degree. All right. So now we're going to determine the meaning of the idioms from context. All right. What is the meaning of cream of the crop? What is the meaning of cream of the crop? It says the judges said that all of the contest in entries were excellent, but Alice's was the cream of the crop and earned a ribbon. So the judges said that all of the contest entries were excellent, but Alice's was the cream of the crop and earned a ribbon. Cream of the crop. Does it mean option one, a dairy product, or option two, the best of the group? What is the cream of the crop? So cream of the crop. Option one, it means a dairy product, or option two, the best of the group. Remember, we are not looking at the direct translation of the word. All right, then if we were to choose the correct option of cream of the crop, it means the best of the group. Well done. All right, what is the meaning of hanging by a thread? Something or someone is hanging by a thread. It says, after Jason's third traffic ticket, his hopes of becoming a truck driver were hanging by a thread. So, hanging by a thread is held together by a string, option one, or in an uncertain or risky position. All right, and the meaning of hanging by a thread. Yes, well done. The second option is correct. It is an uncertain or risky position. Well done. Option two is correct. What is the meaning of ballpark figure? Ballpark figure. It says, as for an estimate, the mayor provided a ballpark figure for the cost of expanding the Richmond Public Library. So, as for an estimate, the mayor provided a ballpark figure for the cost of expanding the Richmond Public Library. So, ballpark figure, is it a person attending a sports event or a rough estimate for an amount? So, option one, a person attending a sports event, or option two, a rough estimate for an amount. All right. And the meaning of ballpark figure, yes, well done, is a rough estimate for an amount. Well done. Yes, option two is correct. you thought correctly. So well done. What is the meaning of better half? The meaning of better half. It says Mr. Lawrence's co-workers finally met his better half, Mrs. Lawrence, at the office holiday party. So better half, is it option one, the nicer part of something, or option two, someone's husband or wife. All right. And if we were to identify the meaning of the word better have, then the meaning of better have, it means that that is either someone's wife or someone's husband. So option two, my better have. It says, what is the meaning of turn the tables? Turn the tables. It says, the visiting team seemed sure to win at first, but our team turned the tables on them in the end. Turned the tables. Is it option one to reverse a situation? Turn the tables to reverse a situation. Or option two, to move large, heavy furniture. Which one is correct? Is it option one to reverse the situation or option two to move large, heavy furniture? That is to turn the tables. To turn the tables. Is it to reverse a situation or to move large, heavy furniture? All right. And if we were to choose the correct option of to turn the tables, especially if you look at the context of the sentence, it says the visiting team seemed sure to win at first, but our team turned the tables on them in the end. It means that it was to reverse a situation, meaning that they thought they were going to win, but in the end, we basically won or we passed them. All right. Yes, well done. Option one is correct. And the last one says, what is the meaning of nail it? Nail it. It says Patrick was concerned about performing at first, but he practiced his part so well that he nailed it in the end. Nailed it. Is it option one to get something exactly right? Or option two to bother someone? Nail it. So nail it. Is it to get something exactly right or to bother someone? Nail it. All right, then if we were to choose the correct option of the meaning of nail it, then we can say option one, it is to get something exactly right, especially if you practiced. Well done. All right, so now we're going to identify the meaning of idioms and adages. All right. So now it means that it says we're going to identify the meaning of idioms and adages. Remember, we said idioms, it is a phrase that means something different than what the words in the phrase mean on its own. Right? That is what an idiom is. For example, to get under someone's skin, right? To get under someone's skin, it means that you are either bothering someone or interrupting somebody, right? That's what it means to get under someone's skin. To give one to give one's right arm. If you give your right arm, doesn't mean that you're chopping off your arm and giving it to the person. To give one's right arm, it means to do something for someone or something. So you're doing anything for that person, or you're doing anything for another person, for someone or something, right? And the last one, a sharp as sharp as a attack. Sharp as a attack. And sharp as an attack, it means that the person is witty and intelligent. They are smart. They are clever. Right? So now we're going to our test where we're going to identify the meaning of idioms and adages. It says, what is the meaning of you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make it drink? If somebody tells you, I'm sure probably your teachers would tell you this, that you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make it drink. What does it mean? Does it mean option one, a person can be forced to take advantage of an opportunity? Or option two, words are more powerful than the physical force? What does it mean when we say you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make it drink? Option one, a person can be forced to take advantage of an opportunity, or words are more important than physical force. Option one or option two. All right. And if we were to give the meaning of you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make it drink. All right. Then option one, yes, it is correct. Well done. It's like saying, here is the opportunity, but no one can force you to take that opportunity if you are not going to do it yourself, right? So they cannot force you to take that opportunity if you're not going to do it yourself. What is the meaning of if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen? So if you can stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. What does that mean? Does it mean option one, don't take on a job or task if it's too much for you? Or don't complain about something that is given to you? Option one or option two? All right. And if we were to choose the correct option, that means if you can stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. Yes, it means don't take on a job or task if it is too much for you. So if you can stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. All right. And the last one says, what is the meaning of get one's feet wet? Get one's feet wet. What does it mean? Does it mean to miss the big picture by focusing on the details? Or option two, to start learning something? To miss the big picture by focusing on the details or to start learning something? Get one's feet wet. Is it to miss the big picture by focusing on the details or to start learning something? All right, and if we were to choose the correct option, then we can say to get one's feet with, ooh, sorry, it is actually to start learning something new. To start learning something. That is actually the correct one. I think I was also wrong there. But well done. This is not the end of our lessons on idioms and adages. And we said idioms is a word or it's a phrase that means something different than what the words or the phrase actually means. You're either gonna have to remember the words of the idioms or you're gonna have to try and figure it out by looking at the context in which it is written. Right? So this is the end of our lesson. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining. And I really hope that you're going to have a good evening further. So until next time, goodbye.